Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Fiscal Talk. Today, we will talk about Zimbabwe and its fiscalization. Yes, you heard it right. Somehow, our legal team started research on Africa, first Ghana and now Zimbabwe. So, we'll see what's next. My name is Milica, and I'm a marketing manager at Fiscal Solutions. And about Zimbabwe, we will talk with Nicolina Basic, and she's legal consultant at Fiscal Solutions. Nicolina, hi, how are you?
Hello, Milice. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm pretty fine, thank you. I can't even pronounce it good. Zimbabwe.
Yes. And I must say it is a little bit weird, but yes, we are in fiscalization in Africa. So Zimbabwe is one of them. And yes, our knowledge is not only in Europe right now, it's also in Africa. So that's great news.
Yes, I wonder why are you doing all these researches, but okay, we will leave it that way.
Yeah.
So let's start with Zimbabwe and its fiscal overview with some standard questions and topic that we always like to cover when we talk about some country, some new country, and that is to tell us if Zimbabwe is fiscal country in the first place and what type of fiscalization is there.
Great for the start. Great question. Yes, it is fiscal country. Africa had a lot of actually fiscal countries. I would say that currently in Zimbabwe is hardware-based fiscalization. That means that we need a fiscal device in hardware, which must be used and which is, of course, in charge for fiscalization. If we look a little bit into history, fiscalization there was introduced in 2010, and all sellers must capture their transactions via fiscal device. So basically, we have approved fiscal device on the market, which contains certain requirements, such as fiscal memory, and also it is important that they are connected with Zimbabwe authorities, which is ZIMRA or Zimbabwe Revenue Authority, and all devices must be connected with them. And also, pretty similar as it is in other fiscal countries, issuing fiscal receipt is a must, and also we have another fiscal documents and reports. So generally, yes, fiscalization is present in Zimbabwe.
Okay, great, thank you. So, what I heard is that fiscalization is not a new topic for them. So they are fiscal since 2010, right?
Yep.
Okay,
Yes.
so that's pretty cool to know. I didn't expect that. Okay, then can you tell us what type of fiscal devices are used in Zimbabwe?
Yes, of course. So we have electronic cash registers as all-in-one devices. They have, of course, predefined requirements. Also, we have fiscal printers which are connected with certain computer program, and they are really convenient, for example, for retail industry, which is really interesting. Besides them, we have electronic signature devices, which are also connected with some computer invoicing programs, and they are used mostly in business to business. But generally, we have electronic cash register, fiscal printers, and electronic signature device. Also, really important is that they are all need to have a connection with the tax authority. It is established via GPRS or internet or Wi-Fi. So basically, they are in that way connected with Zimbabwe tax authority.
Okay, great, thank you. So we could say that they have hardware-based fiscalization, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Just to summarize, and you mentioned the communication with tax authorities, so I think it would be great if we continue with that topic, how communication with tax authorities is handled there.
Great question. As I already mentioned, fiscal devices are connected with Zimbabwe Tax Authority server via GPRS or internet or Wi-Fi, and they usually have that module already in them, which enables sending data in real time. When a transaction is proceeded through a fiscal device. That device will send the sales data to the server of the tax authority, and that will, of course, allow the Zimbabwe tax authority to monitor all transactions and to react if there is maybe some disappearance or non-compiles. So also it is important to state there are no response from tax authority server, but they can and they need to have access to the sales transaction and to see if everything is compiled with law and other regulations.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for the answers. According to the previous question, and that they're hardware-based country. Actually, they have a hardware-based fiscalization in country. So I think there has been rumors that change in fiscalization will be there,
Yes.
in the terms that they will introduce new fiscal systems.
Yes.
So can you please tell us more about it?
Yes, I'm really glad that you asked me that, because now I can answer on some of your first questions. Why Zimbabwe and why Africa? It is because we have in fiscalization terms a little bit revolution there, because Zimbabwe announced that they will change the fiscalization system from hardware-based fiscalization to software-based fiscalization, which is really interesting. And that is why I will explain a little bit, and thank you for your question.
Sorry for interrupting, but I must say that somehow that became like trend. So there is a lot of countries that moved on from hardware-based to software-based, but I didn't expect it to be in Africa also.
Yes, the trend is all over the world. Yes, great conclusion, Milice, because a lot of countries wants to make all that systems more modernized and not to use a hardware, physical devices. So it is much easier to go to the software fiscalization, but we will see how that will be handled. So they announced that in their national budget plan for this year. So it will probably be software-based fiscalization system, because based on the information that we have right now, a software which will be used for sales must meet certain requirements. So basically, we are still waiting for the official law. But the goal of the government is that every fiscal device, every software to be connected with the software or server of the tax authority. So they also call it like a virtual fiscalization. They mention another requirements that must be fulfilled. So basically, all transactions must be registered on the online platform of the tax authorities. For retailers, it could be really convenient because they can use different applications. They can have cash register on tablet, on smartphone, on computer. Also, technical specifications we are expected, and they are in progress. So basically, it is announced that in this field will be covered full technical and functional specifications for this new fiscalization. They will introduce a new self-service portal, which will be really convenient for the customers, for the sellers, and for the manufacturers of the fiscal device. And it will be mandatory to provide online data to the tax authority. Also, we can expect a certain informations from the Zimbabwe to how a system will migrate from one system to another, how the training of the employees and device suppliers will be. Also, they will put, let's say, on public some website or web server, which will be used where the device will be registered. And as already mentioned, system will be made in the terms to monitor transactions, receipts in real time. Also, that is, let's say, one of the main functions, I would say, to use a software from which sellers will send data to the tax authority. Pretty big project, I would say, and definitely it will be. We just need to wait a little bit more about the officials to announce and to publish official regulations.
Great, ladies and gentlemen, Nikolina Basic.
Be prepared. I'm kidding.
Thank you, Nikolina, so much.
Thank
So
you.
this was like one great short introduction of Zimbabwe
Yes.
and their fiscal law, and some
Yes.
new changes and interesting information. I think that will be all for today. Thanks
Yes.
everyone for watching. And stay tuned for new episodes as we cover a lot of countries like every week. If you have also some interesting proposals of which countries you would like from us to cover, of course, we are always open for some new ideas. So feel free and type to our marketing at fiscal-solutions.com. And of course, if you're interested in some of these countries we are covering all every week, then go and visit our fiscal portal. That will be all. Thank you, Nicolina, and thanks everyone for watching. Until
You're
next time.
welcome. Bye bye.